And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to United Fan TV, episode 1 of the thing that I can't even remember what I called it. Fans United. I've been working on that title for a very long time, at least 14 seconds. But I put it on. This is a very ill-conceived show, but with a lack of presence as of late. A lot of things going on in personal life and stuff. But as you can see, if you're one of the OGs, like my main man Rich, who's currently in the background, if you're one of the OGs, you'll see him in a completely different setup. New house, new studio, balls over there. Hashtag team testicles, if you know, you know. And then my main man Rich has already noticed the color scheme there. Again, if you know, you know. So a couple more things need to be sorted out. Santiago in the background there. Hold on, let me see. Lamp in the background is lit. That's correct. Yeah, I plugged it in and turned the switch on. So yeah, it is lit. Is that Michael Owen in the background? I'm not too sure. Just saying very obvious things. Obviously, I'm joking. I know you're saying that it's a good purchase. £15 out of IKEA. Unfortunately, I've been there 4 times in the last 5 days. So never want to go back there again. Never. Popcorn Gang is in the building. Can't beat the popcorn. There's another bit of popcorn. There's more popcorn. I should just call this the popcorn show. So we've got one person watching, and that might be me. But I also know Rich is watching, so YouTube, sort your shit out. Anyway, so we don't know what we're talking about tonight. This is literally just a spur of the moment thing. Again, it was just with no presence. We haven't done a video in so long. We did a couple of watch-alongs, but again, spur of the moment. If you're one of the OGs and one of the guys that just fully watch us, if you watched the end of the Leeds game, you would have seen the setup that we was on, which was a madness. It was a TV on top of a box, on top of a toolbox, on top of a what do you call those things? You take them on the plane. Luggage bag, big luggage. Top of one of those, on top of another one of those. And the TV did fall over at the start and knocked everything over, and then we missed the first 15 minutes of the game, which was class. But anyway, we've got into it. So we've got a couple of topics tonight. Souness, is he an idiot or is he an absolute tube? That's what we'll get into. We'll dive deep into that. What else? Victor Lindelof, the best football player there's ever been in the history of mankind. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss how terrible Crystal Palace are. They're just a dire outfit.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Yeah, so we'll also discuss the buttons that I have on the thing.
Yeah, but I'm not here for fucking swearing.
Yeah, that's going to be the main thing. I want to run out of things to say. I'm just going to hit a random button. What's the next one?
These nuts. Got him.
So yeah, we're in for all types of fun. I'm going to put the link for the Streamyard in the chat. Let me see. We've got 3 people watching. And that's me, Rich, and Santiago. So it's all good. Let me see. Right, hold on. Hold on. There we go. We'll put the link in. There we are. There's the Streamyard. JG in the building. Soon as I walk in, these nuts. Well, that's a bit of a mad sentence there, JG. But call in. Let's have a chat. Santiago's in the building. Like we said, Brush is in the building. Rich is in the building. It's time to bring on my main man, Rich. Hold on now. What about you, Rich? How are you, my brother?
I'm kind of getting used to getting kicked out of shows.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Shout out to KG. He's the main man, as we all know. This is what we all sort of we've jailed as a bit of a community. Sort of meeting on the KG show, and that's still going. It's ongoing. And shout out to the KG channels. Link is actually in the description, and also the United View, which isn't in the description, but it probably should be. But you'll be able to find it. It's massive. But go on to there. Shout out to me, man. KG, absolutely sin binning everybody, especially Maybe a man Rich, he got harsh treatment there. I must say, I didn't get to see most of that last show because of this madness that's going on, but I did see that violation. Go on, tell me, how did it feel?
It's part of the process. If you take these things to heart, then you can't be on YouTube or any platform. You just got to laugh it off. Absolutely, just got to laugh it off.
Yeah, I've been kicked out many a time. Yeah,
yeah, but not in the manner I did. Though. Oh my days! When I look back at it, I watched it again. I was like, "Nah, he really did violate, you know."
I seen the first one. I didn't really see the second one, but I think I seen you say that for the second one was pretty much fair enough. What was that about?
Yeah, you're gonna kick me out anyway. So,
Hold on.
I was saying obviously we're my show on Sunday where any fan can call in, win, lose or draw, and he was like, "What do you mean lose? Get out! We don't do that here, bruv."
That's a terrible impression. I think I might have a better impression than that, but I'm not even going to try it because I'm making an idiot out of myself. Yeah, I watched that show that you did, the Sunday one, as I'm sure you see me trolling in the background, as I like to do, as always. Yep, supporting and trolling at the same time. It's a bit of a weird one. But I seen your man, what do you call Altz, the Arsenal fan. Fair play to him. Fair play to the main man, Altz.
He turned up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be turning up. I'd be watching. We said he watched. He's he's watching the cricket now. He doesn't want to watch football. Yeah. I'd be watching roller badminton or something. No football. Imagine being an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, it's tough times for them, man.
You're better swinging on
These nuts.
Anyway, Rich, give me your opinion on the thing that is popular to talk about right now, the Pogba Souness weird debate that shouldn't be a debate. His name shouldn't have been brought up in the discussion about Harry Kane, but it was. I'm seeing the racism words has come out quite a lot about it. There's some people saying, boom, full on, he's a racist. He just hates Paul Pogba. If it's Harry Kane, it's fine. Pogba is not. Then I think you sort of toed the line a bit more in the middle ground, the sort of things. I have a bit of an opinion, which I haven't heard anybody else talk about, and I don't know why. But I'll let you get yours off, and then I'll say mine. It's not controversial or nothing. It seems a bit more common sense than what I've been hearing. But what do you think, Rich?
Yeah. So just to obviously clarify, because I know in the comment section when I was speaking to KG about this, that a lot of people thought that, well, me particularly, said that he's a racist, which I didn't. What I was referring to is the racial bias, which is a bit different. It's kind of looking at something differently because predominantly the call of just saying, or you could actually underline it as unconscious bias. But with Souness, I think there is conscious there because he particularly, and I don't know what it is about Paul Pogba. But even before the whole aspect of Paul, was it put your medals on the table aspect, which was not last summer, the summer before. Even before that, he's just always constantly bringing up Paul Pogba. Even if Manchester United are not playing, he will bring up Paul Pogba. It's just unreal. Now, in this particular instance, that he made a ridiculous statement, which then he couldn't back up later on that same day because the actual £100 million player didn't have 4 assists. Now, and I don't want to dig Grealish because I like Grealish as a player, but the things that he says about Pogba, his hairstyle, how he lives, he's always out dancing, and so on and so forth. You get aspects of and then Grealish, he then breaks COVID rules. He's always out partying, does wild things. Then he goes and says, "Oh, Harry Kane doesn't drink." Well, no, does Pogba.
Oh, yeah, you see when Gary Neville called Harry Kane a footballing saint on that thing. What? Excuse me, what? A saint? And they in the same week that he didn't turn up for training, he's had conversations with he's saying in interviews, giving himself his own valuation, saying, if you pay this, this is what people should be paying for me. It's just crazy. Go on ahead, Rich. I had to say something that was meant.
No. And it's boring now, like to the point where I know you're not personally on Twitter, but like you probably see this all. You just see so many memes whenever it's to do with Pogba. You'll see a Souness face and someone will like, Pogba should have done better to like, let's just to stop people ransacking the White House, for example. Like any like sort of current affairs event will have a Souness picture now and said Pogba should have done better here, or why didn't he help this person do this? Or, like for anything now, because that's what Souness is like. He will call Pogba's name on anything, even if Manchester United aren't playing. It's ridiculous.
Okay, so what you're saying there, kind of, my opinion sort of comes into sort of what you're saying there, but what I think it is, I think it's kind of like the same situation as me and Victor Lindelof, where he's said so many things against him when it wasn't mad to say it. It was just a wee bit, wee bit out there, but yeah, fair play. And now he's dug himself in so deep a hole that he can't escape the hole. The only way he can go is down. So he just has to keep going down. He has to keep digging until Pogba does something. He's waiting for Paul Pogba to, be the reason for global warming, or for him, to create a catastrophe of humanity. And then he'll just go, well, told you, wasn't it right all along? You thought it was mad and racist. No, but look what he did. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think he's gone too far that he can't go back. And I don't think it's in particular to do with Paul Pogba as a person or his characteristics or anything. And it's why I don't think I can see why the conversation comes out comparing Pogba and Kane and stuff, because of Pogba hasn't done the worst things about Paul Pogba at United has been his agent and his brother. But the worst things, like Harry Kane has done worse than Paul Pogba for their respective clubs, yet Harry Kane is referred to as a saint by Gary Neville, an opposition fan, and Paul Pogba gets abuse for dancing and colouring his hair and stuff. It is crazy, but what it is as well is he's at the club 5 years now, and he came for, what was it, 80 or 90 million or whatever it was, around about there 5 years ago. So if you round that up to today's day and age, you're talking, it's probably 120, 130. So, and I would agree with, I don't think he has fulfilled his value. That 89 million, I don't think he's paid it back. He's too inconsistent. He is, in fact, our best player. But it's like Bailly last year before we got Varane. Eric Bailly is our best centre-back, but he's useless. There's no point having him in the squad because he's constantly injured. As I've referred to him many times in different shows, different channels, he's a walking bag of digestives. I think if he sneezes, he breaks at least 3 bones in his own body. It's just, but he's fantastic. He's the best that you have, but there's no point having him. I would sell him tomorrow. It's like, well, I was going to say Phil Jones, but that's another story. But there's no point in having him. So Bailly is our, by far, well, not by far now, but he's our most talented, best centre back. But he's reckless and he's very easily injured. You get rid of him. I see Bailly and Pogba in the same sort of realm there, where Pogba is probably our best, most talented player, but he's a bit inconsistent. There's all this background stuff, not the Souness nonsense, but the other stuff, the Raiola stuff that you could just do without, and there is a bit of inconsistency there. So,
can I challenge you on Pogba?
Yes, please do, because I was ranting.
Good. I want to stop you there. I don't get this consistency debate. And and maybe this is me, obviously, I'm looking from the outside. I'm from the outside looking in. He came back to the club, and I believe in his first couple of seasons, he was laying assists on a plate. And some of your guys were just missing sitters. And this includes the likes of Ibrahimovic, Lukaku when he was there, and such. Then he's played.
Hold on. Let me just jump in here, because this is. I'm not arguing with what you're saying, because you're right. But there's sometimes, if you recall back, if you remember, there was rumors came out, and I think it was Raiola actually said it, that Man City had come in with a bid for him, and it was like 2 days before we played Man City. Then the day before, he came out with blue hair, and people were like, "Is that a sign?" And then he just turns it on. Was it 2 goals and an assist, or 2 assists and a goal? He was phenomenal. Like, we came back, it was a 2-0, we came back and we won 3-2. He was unbelievable. So it's like when the chips are down, when he really needs to make a performance or make a statement, he can do it. But if it's a wet, cold, windy night in Stoke, he's not up for it. That's the inconsistency. He has the talent, he's the best that we have, but we don't see it enough. But go on ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to speak more so on like some of the players he's had to play with. Now, obviously, when Ollie came in, I believe he had Cardiff first game. Yes, it was Cardiff. Yeah. And he had Pogba playing a lot higher up the pitch. And then I think once you stopped on that, because you went on a run of wins, and then when that came to a halt, all of a sudden there was like 2 DMs. No, it wasn't even 2 DMs, but it was just like Pereira.
Yeah, we had a crazy run at the start. It was nearly record breaking, and then once that
went to pot.
Yeah, once that finished, he shut up shop. Really, is what you're saying.
And that's pretty much going to obviously affect Paul's ability to go forward, in my opinion. Then obviously you cried out for some help, really. Bruno came in. Now, no slander on Bruno, by the way. Bruno then was doing what everyone said, Pogba should have done. Hey, he's back.
Vibes in the building. Although he's a pagan. Go ahead.
But what do you call it? When Pogba was playing higher up the field, I think he ended up the season as highest goal scorer, highest assist, most chances created. Like, it was ridiculous stats. And then all of a sudden, Ollie stopped playing him higher up the field. And I think that's obviously what's affected his game. And then everyone was looking at Bruno as the ones producing goals and assists and stuff. But as you can see, when Paul plays higher up the pitch, and I think the Leeds game is a testament to that. He played higher up the pitch with Bruno, and you can see how well they both worked. I think they both can do a job going forward. And I guess that's probably where you'd need a solid DM. Then you could actually play Pogba and Bruno as 2 8s or an 8 and a 10, as opposed to having Pogba sitting in a DM role trying to do defensive duties, which I don't think
that's probably a bit wishful thinking. Like, we would need a world class. We need a Kante. You would need a Kante or an Ndidi. You need somebody who can do the McFred job by themselves to be able to allow them to do that. But
you're Manchester United.
Yeah, no, we're not really though. We're Manchester United. We're a shell of our former selves. We're talking about, and I seen somebody talking about it today, and everybody's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And then next year we'll buy Haaland from Dortmund. Then the year after that we'll buy Bellingham. And I'm like, right, hold on. So we're getting one world class or potentially world class player a year from now on. That's fine then, is it? Wasn't too sure about that. But one of the things you were talking about there, and when you mentioned Bruno, it immediately came into my head. I have a terrible memory. My microphone is literally breaking. I have a terrible memory, right? But I do remember, I could be wrong actually, when Bruno came in, Pogba wasn't in the squad. Pogba was injured. He wasn't available, and Bruno hit the ground running. So he his best performances were at the start of his reign with us, and Pogba wasn't really there. So it lends to the fact that could we do without Pogba? Ideally, no, but probably yes. And if Ollie is this great man manager and he's building this, this great behind the scenes ethos where it's a team and everybody's for the club and everybody's to help out each other and there's no negativity and all this, Pogba, through probably little fault of his own, doesn't really fit that ethos. Just solely for the fact, forget about everything else, solely for the fact that he's got Raiola as his agent.
Yeah, he's a massive issue.
A massive issue. And that's why, I don't want Haaland. I would love him at the club. If he changes agent, brilliant. Get him here. I'll chip in for it. But I don't want any more Raiola. I don't want him infecting the club anymore. And it's getting to the point where, right, Pogba, and I've said it multiple times, even tonight, he's our best player. But is it worth it? Just is it a case of it's like Fergie? Fergie got rid of him for a reason, and you can guarantee if it was the same situation again, he would get rid of him again. As soon as his brother's coming out, Pogba's brother is coming out and making statements against the club and his agent, and Pogba's no mention of it at all, Fergie would have had him out, 100%. He's kicking boots at David Beckham, best player at that time. Jaap Stam gone, Van Nistelrooy gone, Roy Keane gone. The best players. Yeah. It's all. So this is why Ollie is still at the club, is because of that ethos. He's trying to emulate Fergie as much as possible in terms of that. Like the team unit as a whole is the most important thing.
No, I agree. Could I ask you a question though? Do you think Pogba gets judged more so on his performances on the pitch, or based on the fact that Raiola is his agent?
I think it's a bit of both. I think if he was consistent, it would be less of a topic of conversation. But he is inconsistent. But inconsistency, by its very nature, you're saying he can be the best on the pitch, but he also can be absolutely missing. And for somebody who, this is part of the point of what I was saying about Fergie and the likes of Keane and stuff. Even like they, at the top of their game, producing on the pitch, he would still get rid of them because the team as a whole was being negatively affected by that actual thing. And it may not have been like King's one was mad. They didn't even air that on MUTV, but like just weird things. I don't know. Obviously, the days, things have changed. Obviously, from Fergie's era, player power, agent power is obviously a much bigger thing now. I'm slightly distracted. I might be talking absolute nonsense here, but I'm just trying to save this microphone from exploding in my hand here. I'm sure you can hear this noise. Anyway, no. Pogba, huge fan. Soon as get in the bin. I don't think there was any racial intent on it. I don't think, and I ain't defending that guy. He should be immediately taken away from our screens. Just he's not necessary whatsoever. Who turns on the TV and goes, "Oh, I hope Souness is there talking today." Nobody. Just get rid of him. There's no need for him. He's an old fogey. All right, he was a great player.
Well, Sky seemed to love him. So.
Yeah, but it's because of he says stupid things, and it gets us talking about it.
Yeah.
At 12:10 on a Friday night. That's exactly why, and we're sort of feeding into it. But he's sort of ruining his legacy, isn't he? Really, because a lot of people say about him, he was a great player. The older people. but he just says so much stupid stuff, and
He
it's
does.
digging into his legacy.
You know what
But
was even more rattling with Souness? Sorry to touch
Yeah,
on that.
no, go ahead.
Just a little bit of disrespect, just turning his back on the fellow co-host when they're talking. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. So this is not. I'm not taking this into race or anything. Yes, it was Michael Richards, but whoever, if it was Gary Neville, who else was there in their team? Normally Jamie Redknapp's there. Whoever it is, turning your back like the way he did was just disrespectful. Mad disrespectful.
I don't. I can't actually remember seeing him turning his back. I remember he was like, "Why are we talking about this? Let's talk about something else." And then, the host guy was like, "Right, they're on next week. We'll talk about it then." And then, but they're trying to drill down to an important issue, but they're like, "No, don't worry about it." It's almost like they're protecting him because they know he's a bit of an idiot, and I can't believe we're still talking about it. And Pogba hasn't even done anything for anybody to be talking about him. It's crazy.
He just got 4 assists.
I know, yeah,
and he can't say anything positive.
I didn't hear it directly, but I heard somebody talk about Souness was saying something like he should be getting that every game.
Exactly, yeah. And then Grealish in that same.
Is that a direct quote? He was like, "Oh, 4 assists, yeah."
He said, "Yeah, you expect that from £100 million player." That's what he said. Don't forget, Grealish went on the pitch literally later on that afternoon and did what?
Well, what about Coutinho? 140 million player. What should he be doing? He should be overhead kicking from his own box every game. Couple of those. Madness. The guy should not be ever on our screens ever again. And it's not even from a perspective that you think he's doing it in a racial way or he's being, discriminatory or anything. He's just useless. And I don't think, and we'll finish off here. We'll bring somebody else and we'll move on a wee bit because, as I said at the start, we don't really have an aim for this show, but that was the first thing we started talking about, and it's kind of pointless. We'll move on, but no, I just think he has dug himself into such a hole that he can't get out of now. So he's just got to wait until his opportunity to go, right, well, it was right, and then maybe try and make amends. I think it is. I think that's what it is. He's gone too far now that he can't. Like, if he were to turn around and go, right, apologies, Pop was actually a good player. I made several long-lasting and serious errors in my judgment on that player. It's never going to happen. He's not that type of person. Ain't going to happen. And his appeal to the TV audience and stuff would just immediately go away. Who would want to watch him then? You know what I mean? And then you have no conflict with Richards, or you have no conflict with Guy Neville when they have their ding dongs. Yeah. It's just like the need to have one idiot there because if you have a genius, say you're watching Countdown, right, and you have this genius who's really smart, and then all of a sudden he can't do like simple things, you're like, that's a bit weird. So if Souness turns around and goes, well, actually, I was wrong. It was a miscalculation. Pogba was actually quite good. You're just like, that's not the right person. You were an actor all along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just stupid stuff. And I can't believe we're still talking about him. Rich, I'll probably have you on again. I'm going to hit this button because I've been itching to hit it for quite a while. It's got no reflection on you.
These nuts. Got him!
I've just been button to hit that button. That's the best thing ever been in the history of mankind. Rich.
Thanks for having me on.
And now it's time to
do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Right. Who's up next? We had JG was in the building. He's now gone, but he's in the background. JG, come back on. Let's have a chat. Santiago was in the building, then left, but he's back in the building. See, Brush is in the building, the main man with a better beard than everybody. But we'll bring Santiago on because he was in and then he left and then he came back in. Actually, do you know what? we'll bring them both on because I'm running out of steam here because I didn't have anything to talk about. I was just like, I need to put something up, and I built my wee studio here tonight. Well, I'll improve it, but we'll get the guys on, and then they can just decide what they want to say. But before they do come on, I'm going to hit this button.
Yeah, but I'm not here for fucking swearing.
For no reason whatsoever, right? Brush, Santiago.
What is happening, brothers?
How are you, my guys?
You are having way too much fun with that machine of yours.
It's so much fun. I just bring it to bed. I just bring it to bed with my headphones and just go. Right, so what are we talking about tonight? Go on.
Whatever you want, mate. These are the best kind of shows when there's no direction.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because I saw you comment on a certain little video saying you wanted to play 3 center backs, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't want to see that at all. Not at all. No, I'm sort of in the bin. I think I addressed it a wee bit with Rich there with the what Souness is like with Pogba. Flip, we're talking about him again. But the Souness and Pogba whole thing, I think Souness just can't go back. He's done. He's went too hard on him.
And you kind of mentioned it already, Bradley. I think what it is now, he's like Piers Morgan. Like, it's the same reason why Piers Morgan's famous. Like, you know, these things just trend, and that's why Sky keep him on. I think they like these viral moments.
Yeah, it's controversial. Gets clicks. He's like walking, talking clickbait. He's just clickbait. So that's all he is.
Like, from a footballing perspective, there's absolutely no basis for where it's gotten to now, and it's just become a bigger thing than what it initially started out as. So, you know, and I think he's just a very stubborn man. He just doesn't want to admit that he's wrong.
Yeah, I think that, and even if he wasn't stubborn and he could admit he was wrong, I don't think he's gone too far now. He can't. Something catastrophic has to happen. Either he has to disappear, or Paul Pogba has to do something horrific where he can turn around and go, well, I was right. Let's talk about something else. He's gone too far, so that's his character now. But let's not talk about him anymore because that's everybody's been talking about that. The reason about
also let's just clarify: Pogba was 89 million, not 100.
Yeah, that's what I addressed. Yeah, and that was 5 years ago. So what is he worth now? 120, 130, whatever you want to call it. But the reason I brought that up was it's kind of like me with the Lindelof thing. I backed him to the hilt, and some of it was for comedy effect, and some of it I do agree with. It's the same situation. He's now like the new Chris Smalling. If you remember, Chris Smalling was touted as the best backup centre back in the league. We had
the only time I rated Chris was under Louis when Louis renamed him to Mike.
Smalling, yes.
Mike Smalling was a different beast altogether.
Mike Smalling and Daley Blind. They were two of the best backs in Europe at one stage, and they were playing for us. But I think Smalling was one of the best backup centre backs in the league, and he had to go somewhere else. He was too good to not be used. I think that's kind of what's going to happen with Lindelof. I think he's probably the best, or up there with one of the best backup centre backs going to be now this year. And I think he probably has to go somewhere else. And I think he would go to any other top club because I think his style suits a bit more of European football. You see, he's got that great passing ability. He's not physical, but he's good on the ball, and he's not
aggressive.
He reads the game well. His actual heading stats are better than most people would expect of him. And we've seen it against Leeds. We've seen it last year when he put that ball through for Rashford as well. He has an eye for a pass. He just doesn't have that speed and aggression, as you say, or that strength for the Premier League. I think he genuinely could go to Barcelona or Real Madrid. I think a Spanish team he would slot right in, and he would do it.
Or with the pace of the Italian league as well. In the Italian league, I think he would absolutely boss it.
Yeah, and but it's not in a way like we don't need him. He's a bit rubbish, but he can still go. I think there is a place for him in the squad.
I think he's a very good rotation option.
Yeah, I mentioned this in my own little watch along, where I think he will become. He'll be able to specialize as a utility centre back. So if we're playing the likes of three at the back, or if we're playing against the team where we're expecting, maybe in Europe against the lower teams or whatever, we're expecting to have a lot of the ball, and where the centre backs will have time on the ball, it'd be a good option to go in and rest Maguire or rest Varane. I think he would be good for that. But is he going to be just itching in the background, going, "I'm not getting enough football here"? Or at the same time, another thing I mentioned, the likes of Lingard last year, he played 15 games. And you wouldn't have thought he played. You thought maybe he got 3 or 4 games. He played 15 games in a year, and it's a complete, not even a third choice here. Maybe he was a fourth and fifth. So if Lindelof is as a third choice centre back, he's going to get a lot more than 15 games. So he's going to get game time. But is he going to get enough? He is the Swedish captain now. So is he going to be sitting there thinking, I need to be getting first team football, otherwise I'm going to lose my armband. I'm going to lose my captaincy of my country. I need to go somewhere else. I need to go to another big club and start playing.
I think it would cause us major problems if he decided he wants to go now. Because I think Bailly should be sold first before Lindelof. So it means keeping him for at least another year or so.
Yeah, I mean,
Biscuit bye. Yeah, Biscuit bye.
And like you said, Brad, it's not that we don't rate him. We all rate him very highly. He's just made of biscuits, the poor guy. He can't stay fit.
Exactly.
And his style of play as well doesn't, it's not conducive to his health because he just gets stuck into everything.
He is erratic. Like he goes into tackles with everything. So he's
yeah.
Dude's crazy. Did you see him? I think he was playing against Spain or something. He scored an overhead kick and then got sent off. He's just guy's a mentalist. But it's not what we need. And I don't know. It's the same sort of thing with Pogba, where he's the best player in the squad, but is the negativity and the circus around him, is that just too much? Is Bruno his replacement?
See, the thing with Pogba, though, I'm willing to put up with the circus because we know the quality that he brings, and he's not as injury prone as Bailly.
Yeah, I don't know. He does have a bit of inconsistency about him. That's the thing. Like nobody could possibly mention anything about his quality at any point if he was constantly consistent. He has like phenomenal 10 out of 10 games, but they don't happen often enough. Where to the point where I think if we swapped out Pogba for, say, the likes of an Ndidi, I don't think our chances.
Well, it's a different kind of player, though, Brad. I reckon Ndidi would give you like a consistent 7 out of 10. What I'm saying with Pogba, though,
what I'm saying is, if we got rid of Pogba and say you got an Ndidi's not as good a player and he's not worth as much. But I don't think if you were to swap Pogba and Ndidi, I'm not suggesting we do, but if we were to do that, we wouldn't finish lower in the league. We wouldn't have less chance of winning silverware. You understand?
Yeah, no, I think the emphasis then just shifts to other positions and players. Like I kind of get what you said or what you mean, but if an Ndidi came in, it'll be a player who just constantly puts up sevens. But then the thing with a Pogba is that there will be those games where he can take the game by the scruff of the neck and do something incredible.
But do we have a squad that can afford that type of player? We do. Is that what's wrong with United? Is that why we don't win anything? Is that why we've lost 4 semi-finals?
For me, that's not why. It's because the structures has been all wrong historically. Recruitment overall has been poor until recent times. The coaching side of things hasn't been great. There's been so many problems. And
substitutions. What about the substitutions?
The less said about that, the better.
Nothing to do with the structure, nothing to do with Pogba, nothing to do with the Glazers, although
Squadro, how a player who is so great as a super sub doesn't understand the power of rotation. I don't know.
It's crazy. It's here. Actually,
we were all watching Villarreal, and we could all see that Rashford could barely walk.
Yeah.
What was he still doing on the field? It was crazy.
Yeah, wasn't? Didn't he bring him on earlier in the season, and it was a dead game, and he ended up getting injured after it? He just brought him on for no reason.
Yeah,
and then you've Maguire nearly breaking records. He played against, who was it? We played. Was it Luton? And was it Luton that we played in a third round of a cup? And there's Maguire plays 90 minutes. What's going on? And Mengi on the bench. What is going on? In the final, Villarreal made 5 substitutions before we made any. And people were turning around to me and saying, well, he just doesn't trust the bench. The quality of the squad's not there. My opinion is, right, hold on then. So you're telling me Villarreal squad's good enough that they can make 5 subs and not look any worse. In fact, they look better than us at that stage.
And also, if you don't trust the bench, if that's the issue why you don't rotate, bring in different players.
Yeah, but then you've got people defending him, going, well, he's not been backed and all this, but he has.
He has been backed
again. But you can't complain really. All of his transfers, probably 95% of his transfers in and out, have been good. The transfers out, we all agreed with.
I've been more impressed with the people that he has targeted. That gives me hope. Like the fact that we missed out on Haaland but went for him. Jude Bellingham was on the list. We know Sancho was a long-term target. So I like what he's trying to build.
One word for you. Donny.
So with Donny, I was baffled initially when we signed him because I didn't understand it. But then I looked at it and I was like, do you know what? For the quality of player he is, and you look at his age and his potential to grow, I thought, okay, cool. I can understand this. We need options off the bench and we need to rotate. Like, you know, when Man City go and spend 60 million on Amares and sit him on the bench for 10 weeks, nobody says anything. So I didn't really look at the Donny thing initially as how are we going to fit everyone onto the first 11. I just thought, okay, well, at some point during the season, Bruno, Pogba's, they're going to need rests. So, yeah, Donny can come in and do a job. But then, you know, it's kind of criminal how underused it's been.
Yeah, let's look at the Leeds game. Who came on at the end? Matic. Donny didn't get a single minute, and he played pre-season. He was good in pre-season. Donny's got to be sitting there going, what have I done? Did I fart?
Was it against Brentford, Brad, when we were watching, you were doing the watch-along and he came on as a sub?
Pardon?
Was it against Brentford when he came on as a sub?
I can't remember. I don't. What? I didn't hear the start of it.
There was one pre-season game. I think we did a watch-along to it. Well, you were doing a watch-along and I jumped on. And Donny, he didn't start the game. He came on as a sub.
Yeah.
Quite late on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there were definitely jokes about it.
The whole point of it was, what I was saying is, the Leeds game, the competitive game, he's sitting on the bench and there's Matic goes on. What has to be going through your head? You obviously, in this day and age, you can't ignore what's being said about you in social media and everything. Everybody knows the hashtag free Donny. Everybody knows, like, the conversation is Ollie mustn't have wanted him. It mustn't be an Ollie signing, all this sort of stuff. That's got.
We had this over the years, though. I had the same thing with Shinji Kagawa. We saw it with Mkhitaryan as well. You know, it happens.
So we had these players, and I hate bringing it back to Fergie, but it's a great comparison point. We had those sort of players under Fergie with the likes of Park and Fletcher. You know, the ones that weren't in the limelight, but they could come on and do a job. Like Ji-Sung Park didn't play Premier League games. He just came on for you in the European games and was phenomenal. But what's Donny's role? He doesn't get played in any of that. And
yeah, it's crazy.
The likes of Park might have been brought on for 10 minutes at the end of a game just to get him a little bit, just to keep him in the loop.
The spotlight was always going to be on him last year, especially when he didn't start for like the first 6 weeks or so. I was happy to give it till about December. I thought, the winter period, the games come thick and fast. He's surely bound to get his chance then. And then when that came and went and he didn't play, I was like, okay, we're in trouble now.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know. I think there was like one game that he got. I think it was like against Watford or something, and then like he posted on like Twitter or Instagram. That's like the swollen ankle, and I was like, oh, maybe he got injured or something. But then we never saw him really get game time, right? Like,
and when you're brought in out of the cold as well, like that for a random sporadic experience, it's so hard to, be in rhythm for the game and get going.
Can I chime in there?
No.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't. I don't care whether it's.
Got it.
I honestly do not care whether or not it's his signing or not. Donny is a better player than he's probably technically, as in a technical player, your second best player. You find a way of using him.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Did I hear that right? Did I hear him say he's our second best player?
Technically, in terms of technical ability,
Paul
you need to
Pogba,
specify. You need
I
to
think-
specify.
Bruno Fernandes,
very,
Paul Pogba,
very-
Bruno Fernandes, Sancho, Rashford. You're talking about Donny van der Beek. Okay. All right.
He came up through the Ajax system, Bradley. You need to put respect on it.
Our second best. Let me bring him back in because I think you're on Rich's side here. This is crazy.
No, I think you need to focus on the bit where he said
Focus.
Technical.
I said it twice as well.
Technically.
I said it
Technically.
twice.
Our second best.
Technical
Pogba.
ability
techers.
behind Pogba.
It's that Ajax academy schooling.
Donny has. So you're
Donny
saying Donny has more tackers than Bruno?
Yeah, he's a technically better player. Bruno's more effective. And
Do me
not
a
more
favor,
effective. He's kicked himself out. Good. I'm glad he's kicked himself out.
Uh,
Listen. Anyway, I'm glad. Look, oh, Brush, you got a big screen. I just think he's a technically better player. He's a lot more. He can produce a lot. Obviously, you don't see it because you don't play, which is mad.
and bro, he played a pivotal role in Ajax's run to the semi-finals of the Champions League.
Massive role in that.
And if it wasn't for the COVID stuff, like I'm pretty sure he would have ended up at Real Madrid.
This is it. Santi, what's your thoughts? Because I'm
So
I'm
with
focused on the
them-
word technical as well, please. I didn't say
Okay,
your
so-
best player.
Yeah, so one of the things that I always see him like do is like, and you see it in like random times where he gets brought on, where he'll make a pass and he'll make a run. He's expecting to pass back, and I don't know if maybe Donnie said some shit in training. Sorry about cussing. So Donnie said something at training, and everybody was just like, you know what, we're
Yeah, but
not.
I'm not here for fucking swearing.
But
These
sometimes
nuts.
it almost seemed like people were just ignoring him. Like when he'd be making those runs, like he like I think of like the dummy, he like put Greenwood on there. Like I don't think I've ever seen that, and at least in the past 5 to 6 years, is like a player that does those kind of things. I don't know. He's always looked good when he's come on. I flat out, that is one situation I do not understand. Like,
You've kicked me out twice, yeah, for this comment. I've actually been given the backing and supporting by your co-guests. So, yeah.
That's one of the most reckless things I've ever heard in my whole.
I think you're conflating two different things, Bradley. I don't think he's saying that Donny should be the second name on the team sheet.
No, not at all.
No, you're putting words in my mouth there. To say he's the second most techie player that we have is crazy. And here's why. We haven't seen him play football
I have.
for Man United in the Premier League. We haven't seen him play.
Listen, this is one of those situations where, you know,
But it's all
the
right.
absence of
came up
evidence
with
is not
Ajax.
the evidence of absence.
Now, well,
You don't have to go by just his Manchester United career. He hasn't had
No.
one.
well, no, but you can't say that. But he came up through Ajax and he was good in the Dutch league. It's just not the same thing. You
He
can't.
did it in Europe as
He
well.
did it in Europe as well, yeah. In that so-called Dutch league team.
Get to the semi-final to the Ajax.
I can't believe we're putting.
Look at what Frankie de Jong's doing at Barca. He came up through the exact same system.
What is he doing?
Look at what he's doing for Barca.
What is he doing?
Well,
Is he
I mean, what he's playing.
Is he doing more than?
So that's a start.
Well, so Donny isn't. What? He's not doing anywhere near what Bruno would be doing for any club.
No, but that's not his role.
But that's not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I think
No.
Bruno was just more impactful, though. Like,
No.
I guess
Listen, the only person doing what Bruno's doing is probably Mo Salah for Liverpool, because he's another one. He's just inevitable. He could have an absolutely shocking game, but still produce a couple of goals and assists.
So he's someone I'd say has got zero technical ability. Most
Yeah.
is awful.
Go
to
watch that Norwich game. He is
He is
inevitable. He's like
so
Thanos.
bad to watch, but he
No,
will get you a goal.
Right.
For
Okay.
large parts of that game, he was shocking, but he still finished it with a goal and 2 assists.
You know, Brad.
There may be.
Golden-
Hold on. That's. There may be a cultural definitional difference here, right? Let's define. Let's define techie. What's techie?
Right.
In your mind, what's techie?
A techie waller, yeah?
Yeah.
It's the ability to pass one touch, two touch, round the corner, flicks, tricks, all of that into the game effectively.
But not just tricks for the sake of tricks, though. Like
Yeah.
there needs
we're
to be
not talking
end
about
product.
Ronaldinho here.
You need to have footballing IQ.
Are we
That's
describing Bruno Fernandes right now?
Bruno's
I don't
pass-
need
No.
Bruno doesn't do
pass percentage is
no, but the thing is, right? Bruno and some people would aim this negativity at him, but what it is he's trying the risky thing. He has the ability to. He sees it before it happens, and he has the ability to make it happen. But it's so risky that it either works and we score, or it doesn't work and it looks stupid. And it happens so often where if it works, if he tries a pass and it works 2 times out of 10, that no other player on the pitch for either team will ever try, it's still 20% more effective than anything anybody else can do. And he's got the ability to do it. He can score and he can pass better than most players on any team. He's got the technical ability to do anything. And what you're saying there is it's not just flicks and tricks for to look good. You don't see him ever do those type of things. You see Pogba do it more than him. You see Rashford do the odd step over for no reason whatsoever. Bruno very rarely does something you're like, well, that was pointless. It's usually, well,
With Rashi, I believe he does anything just to buy himself some more time. The more time he has on the ball, he just gets confused.
but we have a bit of a short memory with these sort of things. Do we not remember seeing like Rashford does really weird, high quality things out of nowhere. Do we not remember he nutmegged somebody with the flip flop move inside the box and then crossed it over? Like they've got the ability, the technical ability to do these things. No,
Rashford is better when he hasn't got time though.
He needs
yeah.
to be on a timer. You need to tell him that the ball's a bomb or something.
But to sit here and suggest that Donny is second in the team for technical ability or as a techie player is madness. If we were gonna say that at the end of the year and he plays 30 games and he looks good, fair enough. But my jeepers, to put him second is crazy. And I can't believe that I'm the only one going, whoa, this is mental. I think we should wait. I think we should be bringing this up 5 things deep on Sunday. I think we need to be bringing this up, see what the main man's got to say about it. But this is crazy. I think this is
I reckon this is a conversation we need to revisit at the end of the season, Brad. Hopefully after Donny's had a few games under his belt.
Yeah, I think you just need to see Donny And so it's because
No, because this is the thing. Because I agree as well. You know, I'm basing a lot of this on what I've seen at Ajax. It's not what he's done at United.
Yeah.
But it's about his opposition.
All right. I think it'll be
Go on, Santi,
interesting
before I
too,
speak. Yeah, go, sorry.
because last season we relied way too much on McFred. We relied way too much on, having to sit back and protect those two center backs. I'm actually really curious to see whether Ollie will actually do some rotations and will actually, take some games by the balls and actually like do some of the rotations or subs that he needs to do, right? Because like Pogba, like he's like your X factor game. Like he can have a terrible game. He could have, but then like 10 minutes of brilliance doing what he does will, win us the game, right? Bruno is consistently up there doing those things. Like, yeah, he might not necessarily. He tries the risky passes. I agree with you. He does a lot of those, like just shots and like assists and stuff like that. And so, but there hasn't necessarily been room for that other midfielder. Like I don't know. I feel like a lot of times we just relied on like breaking up the play and then just counterattacking. Never really had that like progression player. Like once we faced like teams that were like in the low block, you didn't necessarily like have like those like space creating players like you need like Donny, right? Like because you couldn't have your center backs way up top. You had to like sit them back because they couldn't run back. So
I was just going to add to that. Like, Brad, you said the whole aspect of Donny playing for Ajax, yeah? And who has he played?
Didn't say that.
You're questioning the teams that obviously Ajax play, right?
No, but very, very quickly, and I'll let you continue. What I was saying is seeing Donny do what he did against sort of Dutch opposition and things like that. And fair enough, yes, in Europe, that's a different style of play. That's kind of why we struggle in Europe. But Bruno has done it against stronger opposition more consistently, and produced these technical. That's the one I need to keep saying technical. But these little magical moments where nobody else in the pitch could possibly do it, only for his technical ability, backed up by his vision. And Donny may have that, but we haven't seen it. And so to say that Donny would be above Bruno is crazy at this stage. Maybe at the end of the year, might see it, but go ahead.
So yeah, the argument there was a massive argument regarding. Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to look at that comment.
One of these days, my test will come on here.
Yes, to fall in. Brad, why did you do that? No, I've just lost focus. I was doing so well.
I heard somebody say Vibes was Batter Zuckers. Is there any truth in that rumor? Is he Batter Zuckers? Well,
has Rich frozen?
Get
Did you just call Vibes about his uckers?
I don't know what that means, but that sounds cool, eh? Am I getting kicked off YouTube now? I do know he's a pagan. I know for a fact he's a pagan. Right, Vibes?
Where did you hear that term from, brothers?
I don't know, actually, to be fair. Hold on, let me think about it. You go on. No, I've seen it. I've seen it somewhere.
You've been Googling.
No, not at all. I actually I hear that. I did hear that. It's bad because I don't really know what it means. Rich, tell me what does it mean? Do you know what I heard in the context and what I heard it means ugly. Is that right? Probably not. No. Vibes is awful quiet in the background. He's either laughing like you or he's mortally offended. What happened to Brush? His beard fall off and he had to turn the camera off.
I'm here. I'm here.
Me and Santiago have got the same face. The white beard. Hold on, let me. Do you know what I need to know? You're making me paranoid now. I need to go on to that.
I just needed a moment.
Feel
I'm
free
going on
to,
to our dictionary here.
go ahead and screen share the definition.
Yeah, fair play, Santiago. We'll do that. It'll take me a while because I'm an old man. Big Shack. Yeah. That's where I heard it. Big Shack. Yeah. Big Shack.
All right. So you got. Alright, I'm gonna try and not get you cancelled.
I can't screen share that.
So have you got it now? Yeah.
But you know what? There's loads of different ones. It's very variant, but they're all bad.
Can I go back to the Bruno discussion? Or?
Please.
Right, so there was a time where obviously Bruno was criticised because he couldn't do it against the big six.
I think there's still that stigma around him, isn't there?
Probably is, to be fair, which I don't think is warranted. So, hypothetically speaking, by some of these so-called fans, he's only good against the lesser sides. Now, some may argue that the lesser sides are better than some of the teams in the Dutch league. But yeah, I know, Brad, please let me focus. But regardless of that, like regarding Donny, and he's done it in the bigger stage, like I said, we've done it in Europe, and I guess it's hard because, like for me and probably Brush, we've watched Donny for years and such. He's just not been given an opportunity. The funny thing is, Donny and Bruno could play in the same squad. That's how good he is. Vibes, man. That's how good he is. If you're gonna keep Pogba on the left hand side, you can play one of Fred and McTominay because that's who you've got at the minute. Play Donny and play Bruno. And I feel that the way you progress the ball forward up the pitch will be a lot more smoother. It will have a lot more care, and there'll be a lot more quality. And
yeah, see, with this kind of stuff, I think it comes down to coaching, though, Rich.
No, the buck always lies with the coach.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, so it kind of is what it is. We just have to see how this season goes and see where we're at with the Donny situation.
Donny's not going to play.
Yeah. Oh, another thing. Obviously, it looks like Lingard will probably leave. So if he does before the end of the transfer window, do you think we'll be getting a DM or another player coming in?
No.
Yeah, Santi might need to take over.
Santi, I'm going to tag you in, bro, because
Bradley is
preoccupied.
You know why? Like, I'm already seeing articles talking about the great midfielder that we could sign next summer. Like, I feel like that's probably, you know, the guy that Ed Woodward hired as the PR to come in and start putting in that, you know, train of thought that we're going to get a DM
Talking
later.
of, I am counting the days until Ed leaves. He's out of it by the end of the year, isn't he?
Yeah. I thought it was the end of year, as in like the season. Whenever I found out that it was calendar year, I was pretty upset.
Yeah. I'm just glad he's going, though, to be honest.
Brad, kick me up. You need a timeout.
Me too. Right. Brush, Santiago, hold it down.
Okay. Yeah. So, is my thing frozen? I think I've frozen. Oh, there we go. It's working now. Sorry. I thought I froze there for a sec, Santi. So, yeah, realistically, do you see anyone coming in before the end of the window for us?
Not really. I mean, unless we get a bunch of people out and we get, maybe like a value signing, like, maybe like Hamavinga.
Yeah.
But,
because with him, his contract runs out at the end of the season. So this is pretty much the only time they could get a return.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess really my thought around it. Now, I think we need to sell Lingard because I think he's out of contract next summer too, but I don't think we're really talking about that.
Yeah, and he made such an impact as well when he was at West Ham last season, and he's 28 years old now, and he deserves to go flourish somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, like he was doing great at West Ham, and then I just don't see how he's going to get first team as much.
Mm-hmm.
Right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up with one last topic.
The look on your face, Brad.
It was a realization that I've been using that term very wrongly for quite a while now. I thought it meant ugly. Don't mean ugly, folks. Yeah, but we'll not discuss what it is. Do you know who's not a peng ting in our squad? Phil Jones. Yeah, that. If there's any man that's a pagan and it's not vibes, it's Phil Jones. What's our opinions? And we'll start with Rich. We'll start with you.
Look at the next comment.
I don't want to look at his comment.
Which one is it? This one?
Wow.
Oh.
Your face has gone red.
Look at the veins on Rich's head.
All right, I'm done out. I'm out.
Santiago's gone. He just tapped out. he knew we were about to slabber about Phil Jones here. Right, Rich, compose yourself. Okay, Phil Jones. What is your opinion on the kit number situation with Phil Jones and Varane?
They should have just taken a number of him.
It's weird. How does he have the ability to say no? Is it a contractual thing where he's like, well, you've given me it, or is it Ollie will go here, Phil, wise up here. We're talking about Varane here. Here's one everything that you just spend all your time lying down on stretchers in case your fucking hamstrings break at any time. We need to give him your number. Is it a case where Phil Jones can go, well, nah, mate? Or is it a case where he just goes, Phil Jones say no, and then he'll go, right, okay, I don't want to upset Phil, but I don't want to upset all the rest of the squad members. If I do this to Phil, are they all going to be thinking, I could be next? I could have mine. Like the whole thing with Martial. This is the weird thing. So Tony Martial, his number taken away from him for Ibra. He literally just built his AM9 brand, and boom, taken off him. Why was it easy to, well, the answer to that is Jose Mourinho, but it was just Martial, your number's away. Sorry, mate, you just got to deal with it. Why couldn't Ollie do that with Phil Jones for Raphael Varane? It's mental. Like that's a bigger jump. It's a bigger leap.
But this is the thing, though, Brad. I think we've all spoken about Ollie's man management. And do you think that's part of it as well? Because, same reason Cavani has the number 7 and not Sancho. I don't think he wants to strip players of what they have you know? Because, yeah, like you say, it was very harsh when it happened to Martial. And then we gave the 9 to Lukaku and took it from Zlatan as well. So, you know, it was very cutthroat. And now this is a different approach entirely. And realistically, in a year's time, Sancho is going to have the 7 and Varane will have the 4.
But not really, though, because Phil Jones still has a couple of years left on the contract.
Surely he can't be here.
Well, why not? No,
Well, I say that, but yeah, he's still here, isn't he? Bloody hell!
Yeah.
I hope he's getting his coaching badges.
Well, you would require somebody to come in to buy him. Nobody's going to do that. It's either somebody comes in and buys him, or they buy out his contract and either let him loose or put him into a coaching role, or maybe just you know, like a sort of background role, like a. No, it was a Ji-sung Park. Didn't he become like a club ambassador? Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, we do those kind of things. I mean, I think Juan Mata would be great for that kind of role, as an ambassadorial role, because he's the model professional and he's just a lovely guy on and off the field. If you ever listen to an interview with him, you know, it's very hard to dislike him. Yeah,
I don't think anybody dislikes him. I have a few members of the family who are Chelsea fans, Chelsea fanatics. They were actually the Super Cup final was about 15 minutes that way from where I live in Belfast. Obviously with Chelsea, and they were both there. They have nothing really bad to say about him.
Yeah. Even at Chelsea, he was a pleasure to watch. Unfortunately, one of the best games I remember him having was against us. I think it was an FA Cup match, and we took a 2-goal lead and we ended up losing that game. But Mata was immense.
The best game that Mata had that I've ever seen was Wanfield. Those 2 goals.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal stuff. Yeah. Rich, right? Phil Jones, the kit number. What do you think? And then we're gonna wrap it up as Vibe says.
He just needed to give the number up. He hasn't played
since January 2020, Rich. It's been over a year and a half.
Was it the same game I was talking about earlier with Maguire played Luton against Luton? Remember he scored? Phil Jones, and it was a phenomenal header too. Remember it? It was at the back post and he headed it and it went up over the keeper into the far side. Remember? Was that the last time he played?
It's been around 18 months since his last appearance.
Why do you think they didn't just say, I don't care what you've got to say, Phil, I know you've been here a while, but that's Varane's number now. Sorry, mate.
How many years has he been at the club? Maybe there's like his testimonial.
He's been there for 10 years now.
So he has his testimonial before he gives up the number. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Apparently, I heard somebody talk about it. Apparently, you can either have a testimonial or you can accept a cash bundle. So they'll say, I think the number I heard bandied was 100,000. So they say to him, right, you can have a testimonial or you can have 100,000. And apparently, he just took that. He said, and the famous quote of him saying, "I don't want a testimonial because nobody will come." Have you not heard that before, Rich? Yeah, he said. I think he said it to like public. I think it's like you can find it. He just said nobody.
Yeah, you can find the quotes. That's pretty much what he said. Apart from his parents, he didn't think anyone else would turn up.
Yeah, that was it. So he's like, "Well, I'll just take the money." But to be fair, he's right. Who would come? Phil Jones. See if Phil Jones' testimonial was in your living room, you wouldn't go. You'd be up to bed. Anyway, guys, we are going to wrap it up as Vibe says, but we've got a new chap in the background there, and it's very intriguing. I can't help resist. The name's JimmyRizzo.com, and it looks very professional setup. This, I think I might actually have to make Jimmy Rizzo. Just going to bring him on and make him the main screen. Let's go. I don't know how to do that. I'm an old man. How do you do this? There we are. Jimmy Rizzo. How are you, mucker?
Yeah, by the way, good evening there. I love the Irish accent. But listen there, I used to love the games between Manchester United and Newcastle, right, back in the day. But do you not think, listen, right, and I don't mean this in a nasty way. I mean it in like a nice way, in a meaningful way, in a real way. Do you not think Man U is like a has-been now?
Is this coming from a Newcastle fan?
Yeah, is Man U not like being a has-been team? Well, no, it's one of the best teams in Europe, but will it ever have that notoriety again? You know.
What do you think, Rich, is a Crystal Palace fan, or we has-beens?
I mean,
You're not the club you used to be. I guess I know Ollie wants to be like the second coming of Fergie. He just has to do things a bit better, in my opinion.
you know what it is there now, right? You know what I think it is? I think nowadays we don't have players that stand out amongst other players. Back in the day, we had lots of players and grown talent that would stand out amongst the crowd. Like we had Beardsley, we had Alan Shearer, Chris Waddle, and the list goes on and on. Like Manchester United had, like, I would say, definitely one of the best teams in the world by far, right? And like nowadays, I think you don't get players anymore that stand out in the crowd. Players just come along now, and I don't know. There's nobody like anybody who stands out for England. I mean, does anybody really stand out in England? I mean, yeah. I think the days of good football has diminished in England, and I don't think we'll ever see them days ever again. Unfortunately.
So who do you think's the pinnacle of football in world football at the minute? Then, if nobody in England's doing it, who do you think's doing it?
Who do I think's the pinnacle? I've been watching football for like maybe about 10 years because I've never been interested because there's nobody who stands out from me or maybe any good teams. I know a good team when I see one, but teams now seem to be, I don't know, there's no like, you know what I mean? Like you had the good player that stood out from the rest of everybody else. And it's none of them.
So what teams get you excited now, Jimmy? Who are you watching now thinking, these are...
I never get excited about football like I used to at one time because I knew every footballer's name. I knew every score in the Premiership, what used to went on. And now I just don't, it just doesn't interest me now.
Portsmouth are good, aren't they?
Portsmouth.
And Blackburn, they're good too, aren't they? Yeah.
Of course.
Jimmy, what about Sunderland?
I mean,
I think they might survive. I don't think they'll get relegated from the Premier League this year. Rich,
because you know I'm from Newcastle and Sunderland. Come on,
Adam Jimmy, what's on your buttons there? I see you've got the Roadcaster. It's probably why
yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
and what's on buttons? Well, you've got one of these tunes, and that's a tune I play when I'm depressed. Oh, we could do with this one. Let's turn it down a bit. Yeah, good evening there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jimmy Rizzo Show this evening. You're now tuned in to the best show on the planet. Yes. You can go to my YouTube channel by going to jimmyrizzo.com. Right, enough of that. Yeah, but honestly, though, if you want to podcast like professionally, buy one of them things. If you want more than I'm plugging 4 microphones, 4 sets of headphones, I'm sure you know this, and it's great.
Yep. Well, you need to do, Jimmy, is you need to get some bespoke, some custom sound effects for it because I know those are the stock ones. You need to get some of the likes of this.
These nuts.
You need to get this one.
Fucking swearing.
You also,
that. Get them all custom.
Yeah.
By the way, there, Mr. United fan, I want to tell you something before I pop off. Right now, do you know when you log on Streamyard all alone and you're just there by yourself because you're just starting a show, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
When you're on a screen by yourself, right? Do you know what a Streamyard logo is?
Yep.
And this will only work for you. Other people who log into StreamYard will still see the logo, but when you stream and your StreamYard, you won't see the logo. So when you come on streaming on YouTube, nobody will see the logo. Right now, if you click on the StreamYard logo, right click, and go to where it says Inspect Element. Right? Then in the Inspect Element, you can see the logo, what's wrote out. Right click on the logo link, delete element, and click on the little X. Not the X to log out the page, click on the little X, and there you go. That's how you get rid of the StreamYard logo.
Right, hold on. Let me try that now, Jimmy. Hold on.
But it will only work if you maybe have one person just on the screen. Like, just put me on the screen. Right, there you go. Now, right click on the StreamYard logo, right?
Yep.
Go to where, go to the bottom one where it says, shit, what does it say at the bottom one?
Inspect.
Inspect element, yes. Go to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll see a load of writing on the right-hand side.
Yep.
Now, in that writing in blue, you'll see the StreamYard logo highlighted with a JPEG image or whatever. Right click on that.
It's actually worked. It's fully worked. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go. It worked.
It's gone.
Yes.
It worked.
Let me refresh your YouTube page. Well, again, there is a delay, so I can still see it.
Pardon, Jimmy?
I'm saying there's a delay on YouTube, so hang on there. Why the fuck do I still see it on YouTube? But you shouldn't see it.
No, I don't see it.
It shouldn't be there on YouTube.
Well, it probably will, because the anytime it's refreshed, it auto refreshes the element. So YouTube's constantly refreshing there, so it'll just kick that out. But it works when you're looking at it.
And by the way, right, never go live on StreamYard if you want it free. Use OBS, bring everybody in on StreamYard, and just capture the screen, but never go live with it. It'll be free forever.
Yeah.
And that's why the logo doesn't disappear on YouTube, because you're live with yours. Don't go live with it. Use OBS.
I actually am going through OBS.
Yeah. But use OBS to capture the screen, which you're doing now, obviously. But you'll find that StreamYard logo won't be on your YouTube channel. Anyways, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bloody Jimmy Rizzo.
What a legend.
That's the best thing that's ever happened. Oh. Vibes is elite. What? It's 1 a.m. A picture of a duck isn't a priority.
Wait,
what happened? What happened to Brush? Did he die?
He said he couldn't stay on, he couldn't cope.
I don't get this one. Lawrence McKenna, I think a rare miss for me, but Vibes, shout out. He's still here. That one, unbelievable. That dude, like everything. It was so. His whole setup was so weird. Like, there's Brush back in the building. We are gonna wrap it up. But
I am back.
That was
composed.
That dude's setup was crazy. Like, his camera's like showing people what his setup is rather than showing him. He comes on to a football stream and he hasn't watched football in 10 years. What's going on?
I was just more impressed with the fact that he was there rolling up his little
whatever that is. We don't judge here at United Fan TV for the the Fans United episode 1. I think we'll have to rename it. The not the intro, it'll be the Jimmy Rizzo show. We'll call it that.
You know what it is as well. I can't look at Vibes' comments as well, bro. At the same time, that's what set me over the edge.
The Jimmy Rizzo show. I need to check that out.
I'm going to check it out as well. 100%.
Jimmy Rizzo show.
Hold on, 1 second.
What about Phil Jones? He's working, isn't he? Oh my, the dude! Hold on, Jimmy Rizzo, shout out! Wow, that dude does bits. Isn't that right, slang? Isn't it? Does bits.
Wow, 2.48
Anyway.
subscribers. This guy's
Fair play, Jimmy. That has made my whole entire week. That's been amazing. That's the best thing. Like this is what the internet is for, people.
Yeah. Do you know what, Bradley? That's the second best thing that's happened today. You need to go and watch Hamza's stream.
What happened? I missed that.
Rich triggered him. I disappeared off for a bit. When I came on, he had Google open. And he was just going at Crystal Palace and going off on a proper rant. And I was like, what did you guys do? You guys broke him.
Right.
It was about 20 minutes of rant.
You just need to put the link into the WhatsApp group there, and I'll have a
Yeah, we might need to timestamp 1 or 2 bits as well that you need to check out. Definitely, it was really funny, man.
I put that time. Go to 1 minute and 7 seconds. I believe it was. Well, no, sorry, 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Right, we're going to call it a close because I have no idea what's going on. I don't know where we are, what country I'm in, what day it is. I've just fully
I
lost.
tell you what, all today's shows have been brilliant, man.
This was just nonsense. I might just immediately delete this. If it wasn't for Jimmy Rizzo, I would be deleting this. Shout out Jimmy Rizzo. We should everyone go and subscribe to the Jimmy Rizzo show, and I will be checking up that back catalogue of all his goodness.
I will subscribe as well.
I have fully subscribed. Anyway, Brush, me and man.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
Always here, always commenting, always joining the streams, always in the chat. Fantastic work. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure you've enjoyed it as much as we have, because
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
incredible. And get your channel started. Did you trim up that beard a wee bit?
A wee bit.
Brush.
It still looks like perfect.
No. There's only one thing to say about that.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Can't like that's like it's like Jimmy Rizzo throwing his Rizzlers out the window. You gotta keep on doing what you have. You know what I mean? It's like me not ranting about random crap and no idea what I'm talking about. It's, you've got your own brand of things. Brush with no beard. There's no point. It's like Vibes with no keyboard. That it's just,
That's a good
do
point.
what you do best. And Rich, again, the main man, always here, always commenting, always helping, always sorting it out, and helping me out with the slang. Nope.
Sorry, just one more time for the people. What was it?
Nope. I'm just recalling all the times I've said that phrase, thinking it means ugly, and it don't. And then on that, what? Go ahead.
Sorry, can you put it in a sentence as an example of how you used it?
I know. I don't think I'm allowed to say it again.
Go on.
No, because Susan Wojcicki is going to be right. The first one was an accident. Now you know what it means. You're not allowed to say it again. Go say it again. Dare ye? Boom, pull the plug. No. You want to say it again, go back. So, Rich, that's your job. Go and timestamp that and put it in the comments. Also, I need to get your link in the description and all that good stuff. People, if you're still here, there actually is 6 people here, and it's all from the Jimmy Rizzo show. Shout out to Jimmy Rizzo. That was the best thing that's happened to me in a very long time. That was insanely good and out of nowhere, amazing. But yep, if you're here, like the video, subscribe to Rich, Eagle Eyed Football, who does 48 shows every day. So there's plenty of content there. And I'm going to get out of here and go and sleep on the sofa. Time to get out of here.
Yeah, but I'm not here for fucking swearing.
Hey! Got it!
All right.
Hey!
All right.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Batters, uckers.